seen in the last couple of years. So we have seen in the last couple of years how AI has dominated, and AI has been integral part of every strategy, be it sales strategy, be it finance strategy, be it any growth strategy, business strategy, technology, innovation, everything. So AI has been one of the cornerstones of the strategy for the past couple of years, and especially this year, people have invested a lot into AI. And so, what's actually the reality and what is the hype? We need to differentiate that. Again, when we are talking about hype, we are not trying to belittle AI. We are trying to actually showcase where AI is adding value and where it is just a hype with regards to it. And then there have been also, I must say, several very serious investments into not just into millions but billions to trillions of dollars of investments that were made by the countries. And everybody thought that the moment we make the decision to invest uh, few billions or trillions, we will be taking the lead in the market, and that's how everybody started investing into it. So let's look at that. So agenda for today is those six bullets: AI's evolution and progress, what we have seen, and then good, bad, worst, and the best of it, uh, where it actually won and where it lost, and how it has impacted the industry. And co-pilots and AI agents, we have been talking about co-pilots. There are several co-pilots that have been very successful contextually, and there are some generic co-pilots that have not been so successful as well. And then ROI promise versus reality. Everybody started investing into it. Even a smaller company or very small company also started investing into it. But what's the ROI? So that's also we'll look at it. And then career opportunities. What are those things that are going to uh, take us forward from a professional front perspective? What are those things that we need to look at? And we'll have a few minutes also for Q&A. Now, AI's evolution, where it started, 2022, I think mid of 2022, it all started with Gen AI. AI has been there in the market, but Gen AI has evolved mid of 2022, and everybody started talking about it, and that was a huge revolution. And OpenAI made a lot of progress within the market because they were the first to offer. And I just would like to also take your time to understand that how the market is really competing with each other. OpenAI, when they came out, their intent initially was just a social project, open source kind of thing. But later on, they changed it by looking at the numbers that they could make. They just changed that to a commercial license rather than helping somebody else. So that's where the conflicts have uh, started between big players such as Elon Musk, who opposed OpenAI, but Microsoft has invested in OpenAI and they thought that they can take lead. They moved forward with that and they also gained a lot out of it. And one of the biggest companies, Google, they suffered and they had to announce really internally that while we are one of the key players in the market from the search engine perspective, but we haven't succeeded. They immediately launched something called Bird, BARD, and it failed. It could not withstand the reality of it. And then Elon Musk came with Grok, and then DeepSeek came in. So several. I mean, this market, if you really studied closely, it's a hundreds of $1 trillion market, not even billion, $1 trillion market, and everybody wanted a pie out of that. Everybody wanted to succeed. Everybody wanted to show that their models are better. So 23, 24, and even 25 recently, if you look at it, who is now topping from the perspective of the right models and that. So Google has reclaimed their status as one of the best. So Gemini 3 is something that is dominating currently. So this market has been very, very volatile. So somebody started investing into, probably OpenAI. Then the next model came out of DeepSeek was better, and then they had to quickly change that. And then Grok came in, and Grok was really openly answering several questions that were not answered by others because of political reasons. So then again, Gemini claimed it. So if you really look at it, any organization looking to invest into AI, they were confused. What is it that we must go and invest? Which Gen AI models are better for us? So it always has been an evolution. Even we believe that next year as well as is going to be a tough competition, neck to neck competition. However, it's going to be purely offered based on the commercials. So this whole low uh, quality and generic kind of things will be offered for free. However, everything is going to be uh, with a heavy price tag. So companies can utilize the Gen AI, can utilize AI agents, but they have to pay premium because already the investments have been, trillions of dollars, and they need to recover, whoever are those service providers. So from the perspective of 2022, that was a mainstream movement. Like I said, OpenAI. So ChatGPT, launched it. By the way, ChatGPT belongs to OpenAI. OpenAI is the organization. So then the hype, into AGI, which was saying that now everything with regards to the artificial general intelligence is definitely there. It's going to replace the workers, or it is going to hit the market in such a way that there will be huge losses, and then peak inflation in 2024. So like I said, massive serious investments, not just millions but in billions and trillions. And then the reality check, now if you look at it, it's going through a correction. What does it mean by correction? So all the hype that it has created, some of those are being addressed in such a way that it is recorrected, and it will stay in the market. So if we are thinking that now AI is going to disappear, absolutely not. AI is going to stay in the market, but with the reality, closer to the reality. That's what is going to happen. Now, if you look at it, what has improved in 2025? What are those things that have come in, as an evolution, as an innovation, and uh, passing the hype, and coming through the difficult ROI calculations? Is these are the few things, such as deep reasoning, that has actually come in. So if you now look at models like Gemini 3 and Claude, they have really a multi-step, absolutely a multi-agentic framework as well, multi-step, reasoning, deep thinking. Also, somebody also calls that, refers that, but that's something that has been introduced. The second one is uh, true multimodal. So earlier it was a single model. Now it is actually multimodal, so which means that you can have the integration from videos, audios, which could be voice, which could be visuals, which could be graphics, which could be text. So it's really a true multimodal kind of thing. So you can train using any of these, and also you can test using any of these. And then agentic frameworks have been evolving, and agents are here to stay. Probably we do not have the autonomous agents yet in production for several of the specific use cases, but for general use cases we have semi autonomous agents. Those are already there. So agentic frameworks have really emerged, and they started orchestrating it. I mean, true agentic frameworks have been established in the market, and there are certain things that are in production, but they are not yet autonomous means they can do it on their own, so they really need little bit of intervention yet. But there are some great agentic frameworks. And then the reliability gap, if you now look at that hallucinations, which is nothing but wrong outputs, which does not go well with the logic. So those are the things are still there. So those need to be addressed. Yes, they have been addressed in the latest models, but still they need to be addressed. So what is the good, bad, worst, and best of AI that we have seen? So if you look at that, the good we have seen, and in fact within our organization and all the customers that we are serving, is that definitely productivity boost. Definitely there has been productivity boost in what were those tasks. Those were the repetitive tasks, routine tasks, such as anything that you need to summarize it, anything that you need to document it, anything that you need to bring insights about, anything that is relevant to writing emails, communication, drafting legal documents, drafting HR documents, policies. Um, you know, most of the organizations are using Gen AI. So they have either ChatGPT license, or they have embedded that within their solutions, be it for recruitment, be it for marketing. Already organizations are using it, and you could see that many of the organizations have reduced their headcount. So that's good from a perspective that it was a repetitive task, it was a routine, it was not something which was an innovative thing. So, whenever it comes to innovation, still AI is far behind in certain cases, such as um, probably designing a product. Yes, it can give you probably 30-40% of boost. However, it cannot replace the human being. So, from a good perspective, that's what it is. Okay. So, from the good perspective. And then from the bad perspective, one of the things that everybody is worried about is the hallucinations. The hallucinations are really complex things. Why? Because you need the context and the content to train, eliminate the hallucinations and bias net. Okay, any data that you are training, if it is favoring one output, favoring predetermined output, then that is definitely a bias. So still some of the organizations are facing the biasness. However, majority of the models have addressed those bias, logic, as well as the hallucinations that evolved from the last couple of years. However, the bad thing is, if you now look at it, all the big players started investing heavily into data centers. So, what is happening with that? So, data center demand has increased because of the Gen AI, which means that your infrastructure cost is going up. You are investing, up and down, left and right, without thinking twice, thinking that within next couple of years I'm going to get all my return. Not only return, but I'm going to be the leader in the market. And they need lot of power consumption for the data centers. And most of the times when it comes to the power supply to the data centers, the normal power generations and those things were inefficient or insufficient for that matter, because they were never planned to supply, such a huge energy to the data center. So what they had to do? They had to have the nuclear plants specifically developed, designed, and to supply the power for the data centers, which means you are consuming more power than what was needed. Like I said, even probably in the past as well, that one Google search was costing 80 to 100 times more than the legacy Google search. So, but now it has improved. It's probably 8 to 10 times more, but still everybody is worried that it's a heavy investment into also the energy. So energy consumption has really driving everybody crazy about it. So that was the bad. And then the best, from the best perspective, especially into the medical science, material science, in the biology, several problems have been solved, addressed, and that's really the best, because otherwise it would have taken ages, longer time to do the tests, be it drug testing, be it any of the other material science testing or medical test. Those used to take a lot of time. So many believe that especially the pharma medical sector has advanced using the Gen AI, the AI in general. Then the worst, uh, like I said, autonomous agents are failing. Autonomous agents are yet to come. We have seen semi autonomous, but autonomous agents are absolutely failing. And autonomous agents are going to replace humans. That's what everybody is thinking from the perspective of doing the task continuously without the intervention of the humans. So I mean, that has not happened yet. So that's something that we are yet to see. But people who have hyped about autonomous agents, they could not prove it. So those are the good, bad, best, and worst of it. Now let's look at the productivity boost. And again, these productivity boosts are the generic cases. These are not the very specific cases. Like I said, around 30 or 30% plus productivity boost has happened, which is really great. Okay. From the perspective of any automation, routine things, summarizing meetings, also optimizing the code or writing the code or checking the syntax. So earlier people used to write programs and they have to address all the errors that were there. It could be syntactical error, it could be any logical errors and all those things. But now there are very fewer errors or almost no errors when they are writing it. And then scaling up as well, that has also increased because everybody is now using one code generator which is integrated into their IDEs, rather than everybody were using different methods of writing the code. So there is consistency, there is improvement. So that's from the productivity boost perspective. And from the scientific impact perspective, I already mentioned that 35% ROI. They have already seen that, be it in a material science or be it deriving the research results and solving some of the complex problems. Those are already been addressed, and they have seen greater return on investment from the perspective of good and best. And then bad and worst perspective, like I said, structural issues, again, data center energy demanding huge energy requirements, hallucinations, bias, and spending so much of money on energy consumption. That's also something, that's the bad. And overhyped failures, if you look at it from a worse perspective, agent fails. So there are a lot of agents that are not performing the way they had to perform because they have not been trained for some of those complex or logical tasks. but those probably in near future will be addressed. This is what we believe. Then co-pilots and AI agents. Now, when we touch co-pilot subject, everybody believes that the co-pilot is only Microsoft co-pilot. Microsoft has got one of the co-pilots that they have named as co-pilot, but however, every organization has developed a co-pilot. Now, let me tell you the reality about even Microsoft Copilot. Microsoft Copilot, according to the feedback what they have received, according to the results that it is showcasing, according to the hype that they created about Copilot, it's a disaster. It's not really successful. Yes, what is it doing? It's just doing basic tasks, summarizing, giving you a bit of insights, and that. I also use most of the times Microsoft Copilot, but it's not good enough. It's definitely not good enough, and we will see. What's the difference between Copilot and agent? Why? Because now here I would like to also emphasize that whenever anybody is building an AI product, there are quite a few things that they need to consider. Copilot is working across the entire Microsoft suite of applications, such as Office applications, be it Teams, be it Word, be it Excel, be it Outlook, be it Notes, all the Microsoft applications. It's working across all of them. The data model and the feed that's coming in from those products were not initially designed for AI. Those were designed from a business perspective, best of suite perspective. Those were designed. So two things here. It's not just the data, but the data that is feeding into the model, probably that was not designed properly, and Copilot product itself was not designed with the roadmap that everybody is thinking that it will become a now an AI agent, or it will replace a lot of the intelligent tasks that a human being was doing. So that's the reason it is a failure, and there is lot of things that have been mentioned uh, on the web, why Microsoft Copilot could not withstand the hype and why it is not a success. I'm seeing some of the questions coming in, but I will answer all of them at the end. Please keep typing the questions. I can always go back and answer them. So one of the one of the largest used co-pilots across the enterprises is Microsoft Copilot, and it has not been successful. And the way they created the hype, it could not meet the reality of it. Now, what's the difference between Copilot and agent? Co-pilots are the assistants, okay, whereas the agents are the digital workers, okay. So co-pilots are there to assist you. I'll help you do it, which means that I'll guide you. I'll help you while you are doing it, or I can provide you some insights, or can I just summarize this, or can I just write an email? Do you want me to create a meeting? So it's helping, it is assisting, okay. So what's the trigger for that? Human initiates every prompt. So prompt is a word, a command, a trigger that is being fed into the model. So the trigger is coming from humans. So human initiates every prompt, and then what's the role? Oh, so either it drafts, suggests, summarizes, improves, or brings the insights. Before the meeting, you could ask Microsoft Copilot or any Copilot for that matter. Can you please give me insights for this meeting? That's in next 5 minutes. Then it gives you insights that yeah, previously in the previous meeting you guys have discussed this, however we have not I have not seen any email or any action from that. Rather, probably, there could have been some of the actions that have been taken literally by the team, but since Microsoft is not capturing the data, it misses out on that. So those are the, small gaps that are there. So unless everything is mentioned within the Microsoft Business Suite or Office Suite, it is not identifying those things. So that's the co-pilot. And then control is that, is it doing everything on its own and executing the task? No. It only suggests and waits for you to accept it or to execute it. So, review by humans is absolutely necessary in terms of copilot. So, that's the copilot. Whereas the agents, when it comes to agents, agents is I will do it for you. So, that's the difference. Hope you understand what is the difference between a copilot and agent. Copilot will help you do it, whereas agent will do it for you. So that's the main difference. And why I said autonomous agents, which means that autonomous agents are those agents. The moment there is a task in your basket, it must pick it up, it must analyze, it must execute it without even your intervention. Only when you are setting up, you must tell that these are the tasks I want you to handle. Autonomously, it will handle, but that's not happening. That is not happening. That is failing big time. Such a smaller things probably it is happening. Even I have tried several agents, creating agents using Microsoft Copilot Studio and all of that, but it's not effective enough. So agents, autonomous agents, I think it's maybe 2026 should be the year for that. I'm hoping that some of the routine tasks that we should have done um, could be taken over by the agents. So, what is the trigger? Given a high level goal, so I would like to achieve this, or I would like you to take care of all my meeting minutes, or sending out this, or I would like you to probably gather the information from different sources and compile a report. Those are the kind of things. If you provide a high level goal, then it plans, it acquires the data, it connects, it uses different tools, and it executes. So that's the role of an agent. And what's the control? It's an autonomous loop. So you create a lot of guardrails, wherein you say that, oh, don't do this, do this, don't use this kind of context, use a different context, or when you are creating some financial reports, use only dollar values, maybe take these dates or financial years. Those are the guardrails that you can set it up. So that's the autonomous loops are created, and that's where it is controlling. And every time you are training a new AI agent, you really need to train it well from all the complexities perspective and all the different execution loops perspective. So that's the difference between copilot versus agent. Now, co-pilots, where they are good, like I already said, that Microsoft 365 co-pilots, it's widely adopted. Transform meeting summaries, email drafting, and Excel analysis from hours to minutes. The human decides, so that's the decides model builds trust. So human intervention is definitely required. However, such a huge hype that it has created, that everybody thought that it would be able to do several tasks on its own. It's not doing currently, and that's a really a setback. But when it comes to email drafting, I think it is good. But contextualization we need to give. Human need to give the right command there. Human need to give the right prompt there. Human need to review that thing. Otherwise, it can write anything. Many a times, if you have received an email from a person who has not interpreted, whose mail is not properly interpretable, then Microsoft Copilot cannot help you, because it would write a summary based on whatever you have received. And then developer velocity. So Google Jules is something that's also has been helping the developers. And then for key success factors for copilots is because it is reviewed by the humans, because human is always there in the loop, human is always part of the loop. That's why human is able to correct it, modify it, review it, regenerate it, and send out. If the human would not have been part of the loop for the co-pilots, then it would also have been a failure, and many people would have written it off. However, since human is part of the loop, of whether it is getting drafted, whether it is getting reviewed, whether it is getting revised, rephrased. So human is always part of it, and human is giving that prompt. So draft it formally, draft it casually, make it shorter, make it longer, make it comprehensively, bulletize it, and all these kind of prompts are there that you can give. So since human is part of the loop, that's why it is the key success factor. If human would not have been part of it, then it would not have been really a success factor for even the co-pilots. Now agents, uh, again, 52% of executives report that agents deployed in production, but what kind of agents is something that we have to look at. So some of the agents that are deployed are single purpose agents, not multi-purpose agents, because multi-purpose agents would do multiple tasks using the multiple scenarios, multimodality, and then multiple sources and really complex tasks. So if you look at it from the Google Cloud survey, most deployments are single purpose and supervised. See, probably industry is looking at unsupervised autonomous agents, but whatever so far has been successful deployed are single purpose and supervised. So it's not kind of set and forget kind of thing. Okay, set that agent will take care of everything. No, it's not yet. So autonomousity is still not there. uh, just give me a second. So set and forget, or configure and forget, and configure and execute kind of thing, we have not achieved yet. Okay, so human in the loop, which is something that is still required even for agents. Okay. Then reliability challenge. um, Agents has got different execution loops to solve the same problem depending upon what is the context there. So sometimes, the guys who are developing the agents, they are confused that it's exactly the same thing I have asked and exactly the same prompt, same task my other colleague has asked. Why is it taking two different paths? So there is no predictability, there is no stability in terms of that. So those are the things, and then also feedback mechanism is there, and then robust rollback mechanisms, and then lot of audit trials and all of those kind of things. If you look at it, you feel that no, agents are really not performing the way they had to perform. Okay, uh, and then see, whenever human being, let's suppose that you are doing a task, and if you want to undo it or roll back, probably you could do little, but the rollback capability is missing in majority of the agents. Since the rollback capabilities are missing, people are hesitant to take it. Such as, I'll just give you an example of it. Okay, merge the data between two tables. Merged. Rollback. No, you cannot roll back because it's already been merged. Or bring the data from two Excels and add it into a new column and replace this column, and then you say, oh sorry, this should not have been done, can we roll it back? You cannot roll back. So rollback mechanism is really really important, because sometimes you don't want the task to be done the way it is done. So human in the loop is still there. Humans are looking at the output of the agent, what it is, and getting executed, but that's not what agents would have done. Agents would have executed on their own without the intervention of the human. So human in the loop is still there, and as long as human in the loop is heavy, agents are not going to be referred as successful digital workers. They cannot replace it. And then workflow shift. So like I said, earlier, um agents has got built-in agentic workflows are there, but sometimes what is happening is that Users had the ability to search for the best workflow, how this task needs to be completed, but that is now being replaced by the agents directly, and that's also some of the unpredictability there. So what we have seen is that co-pilots and agents, how much they are successful. Now let's just look at the promise, which is the ROI promise versus reality. And everybody would like to make, some profit. But I have not heard of any Gen AI provider making profit. Let's start from there. Only people who have made profit so far is the Nvidia, who is supplying the GPUs, who is supplying, the core of the Gen AI. They made a lot of profit. They have become trillions of dollars company, within few months or few weeks for that matter. But whereas is Google making profit out of it? OpenAI making profit out of it? Probably not. Yes, have they sold, with this hype? Yes, absolutely. If you look at Microsoft, Microsoft has sold, I must say that millions of licenses with the hype of AI embedded within the suite. Lot of ERP players that I know of, I don't want to take names, but lot of big ERP players, they have sold and they made lot of money by just embedding the AI as part of their solution, be it as a co-pilot, be it as agents. But let me tell you that 9 out of 10 are hypes there. None of the ERP players today has got perfect agents. None of them have got perfect co-pilots. Lot of hallucinations are there. Lot of them are there. So reality of the agents is really too far, and return on investment. Probably ERPs have made money, but customers from the agentic AI perspective, they have not made money except for a couple of industries. So if you now look at the time to value and ROI scale, you could see it's really, market promise is always huge. Can you see in the year one? Huge. And it was no value, or reality was far behind that. Okay. And then second year as well, even now as well. Year four, probably enterprises are realizing value, but enterprises also become smarter way to invest. What are those things they must invest rather than just investing in everything. So the promise was AI will cut costs by 50% in year one. That hasn't happened. And the reality is that payback takes 2 to 4 years. And that's the reality. So people who have invested, probably some of the routines, some of the repetitive, some of the development tasks have been optimized. However, it's far from the reality of it. Because, for any AI model to work, you need to have, first of all, the data, and you need to have the right quality data, which means that you cannot use the data as is. So you need to take the data, you need to clean the data, you need to normalize the data, and then you need to ensure that there is no biasness in the data. You need to ensure that you are covering all the permutations and combinations of that particular data set, good, bad, worst. And then how are you governing? How are you training? Are you really training only on the positive side of it? Are you training on the negatives of it? Or is it a balanced model? All those kind of things. What are the location specific stuff? What are the localization stuff? All those kind of things need to be, considered before you feed any data into the model. Today, the biggest disaster for the organizations is that they trained with the data and then they realized that, sorry, the data itself is wrong. And all the effort is going, for a toss. And this is not really good, because, you invest a lot of time and effort and money. By the way, I'm sure everybody knows about it, but let me also emphasize that nobody is hosting on-premise these things, these models, because it needs specialized infrastructure. So everybody goes to the cloud. Everybody hosts it somewhere else, which means that every second that you are hosting, every second that you are utilizing that infrastructure, you are paying for that. And if you have used that infrastructure just for training, maybe 6 weeks of training the data, you paid for it, and when you tested it and the results were not right, so all the effort of training is gone. So the cost of hosting, subscription, model training, and everything is a disaster, because you get nothing out of it except for what mistakes that you made. So we need to be very, very cautious, because people are spending millions of dollars in larger organizations, not realizing that they don't have the right data quality. That's why, as Pilog, we are always cautioning our customers, saying that if you really would like to develop any AI models, or you have any AI initiatives within supply chain management, asset lifecycle management, first get assessment done. How good is the data? There are several companies who are offering this service, apart from Pilog as well, who does the assessment of the data to see whether that particular data model, and all the data fields in that, those are enough to build an AI model or not. So organizations are still bleeding, I believe, but there are certain organizations who have taken this to front, and they are also gaining. So what the data says in 2025. So what is the ROI that is being proven? Let's look at that. So return on investment for every $1 spent by early adopters. So $3.7 return on investment of $1. But what are the use cases? Use cases are different. Like I said, these use cases are not the use cases that it has promised. However, if you really look at it, there are certain organizations who have improved the productivity, who have improved, their efficiency of it, be it automation, and this is the example for those. So still there is scaling gap. Many of the organizations today still they are doing testing, trial and error. They are doing small POCs, they are doing small pilots. They have not scaled up for the production. So two-thirds of the organizations are still stuck in pilot phases. They have not scaled their solutions. They could not bring in the data governance. They could not bring in that AI governance as part of their solutions. So integration hurdles are still there. So that's a concern. And then why pilots are failing? Many initial experiments fail to graduate to production. Like I already said that, many of them are investing heavily into that. Poor data quality, if you look at it, and this is one of the top reasons. Poor data quality. Then the second one is that there's not enough governance framework, okay, within the legacy systems, or within the framework or the data pipeline that you have created. And over and above that, integration complexities, because there are certain legacy systems, those could not be integrated properly, the data could not be extracted properly, the data is not in the right formats, data is not reusable, and data is very limited. So cleanup exercises are required, enrichment exercises are required for that. And then the shadow AI surprise. What is it? So employee-led AI adoptions often. So if an employee is taking any initiative, AI adoptions, they are successful. Why? Because it does not have to go through all these checks. Whereas enterprise level adoption is taking time. Corporate initiatives are taking time, because corporates are, trying to achieve big things. First thing is that their goals are unrealistic. They would like to solve the problem, which probably is not at all a problem. They are trying to solve the problem which is not solvable at that point in time. So they have huge expectations, their aspirations are huge, and again, it has to go through a formal process and all of that. But sometimes we are seeing, even in my organization, some of the employees, they come up with some of the innovations saying that, you see, I could do this using AI. What would you like me to do? Many of the corporates, they say that, drop it, no, it must go through this committee, that committee, and it takes time, and sometimes it also, dies. What we say is, check it for the scalability, deploy it, and you have to encourage even any innovations or adoptions that are initiated by employees. Probably there is value in it. Scale it up and check whether it is workable or not. If it is workable, then take it. So those are the few things. And what are the career opportunities? Let's just look at the career opportunities. What are those career opportunities? AI ML engineer, still there is demand, still there is demand. And then prompt engineers, though automatic prompt generation has evolved, but still there is demand for the prompt engineers who could generate the meaningful prompts. They could generate maybe one prompt, but that has got several different meanings, different phrases, different wordings in it, so they can generate that. And then agent orchestrators, definitely, those are also the managers, if you really call. So which agent need to be called when, which agent need to be executed, what is the sequence of it, and who is better tasked for completing a specific task or a complex task. So agent orchestrators, AI ethics specialist, this is definitely going to stay, because AI ethics is going to be challenged all the times. What's the compliance? From where have you taken the data? How good is the data? Is there any biasness in it or not? And then have you considered the representation of all the use cases in it? So those are the things. Data governance lead. This role is also going to stay for longer time, because data governance is not going to disappear from the market. And AI security analyst, because how secure is your model, how secure is it from the vulnerabilities or prompt injections, those kind of things. So what we are seeing is that 91% workforce expansion of AI adopting, so which is really really good. Um, and then what is the winning formula? Hybrid skills are required. You need domain expertise, which means that you need the business knowledge. If let us suppose that you would like to develop an agent for marketing, you need to understand the marketing business. If you are in the healthcare, you need to understand the healthcare thoroughly before you can apply the AI there. So it's a hybrid skills, domain expertise plus AI literacy is important. And this is again, this quote I have been using for last several years. AI is not going to replace humans, but those humans who know AI are going to replace, those who does not know AI. So, which means that AI won't replace you, but someone using AI might replace you from a uh, career perspective. So, as part of my role, I have to look at different models, different things, adapting the different stuff. So, what are those key takeaways? AI, you know, more you have infrastructure, more you have the power. AI will be more powerful, which means that it's more infrastructure. It's not just magic, because AI at the end of it is it's maths and data science, nothing more than that. So 2025 was really a reality check year, and 2026 we will see autonomous agents, multi-agent, how they will mature, uh, and then continuously we need to invest in people. If we are representing a lead role, if we are part of leadership group, if we are part of community, one thing that we need to encourage is that Please learn AI tools. AI literacy is important. Without that, there won't be any jobs in near future. Okay, so that's what it is, and time for Q&A. But did any of these things surprise you, or if something has surprised you the most, please comment there. I'm going through the questions here. Yeah, now hallucinations are significantly reduced. Yeah, that's correct, Mr. Qazi. Uh, yeah, when I say power, power generation definitely require, water or any of the other minerals at one point in time. So it could be hydropower, it could be thermal power, it could be, any of those things. However, water is 100% required, and because coolers are required there, and that's the reason many of the big players, they are building the data centers under the sea or near the sea, so that they do not have to bring in cooling capacity from further down the line. uh, There are individuals who want to bring their personal customized AI agents to help them at work. Have you come across such situations? Right, on small language. Yeah, small language models has been a success. Even we are using several small, language models, because large language models are not required. I personally believe, yes, those are required if you are addressing a generic problem. But if you are addressing a contextual organization level or enterprise level or a software solution level, I think small language models are more than enough. We have got several of those, and we have contextualized those ones. And we must encourage actually small language models, because they consume everything less from an infrastructure perspective, from the energy consumption perspective, from the data set perspective, from the training perspective. So we must actually encourage, because if every organization starts having only the large language models, then it will be a disaster for the planet. Personal customized AI agents, we need to scale them up, because most of the times I personally receive probably every day five to six, minimum five to six emails pitching that we have this agent, we have that agent. But the moment you test it, it works only on a specific scenario. Agents cannot just work on specific scenario. They can work on a specific problem, but not just a scenario. And scale up is a bigger challenge. Scale up is a bigger challenge. How to speak fluent English? Anyone for me? Yeah, there are also a lot of Gen AI tools that can help you speak English better. What is the future of data analytics analyst job holder? Data analyst job, they need to probably, it's going to be there, but I don't think that it is going to be a generalized one. It is going to be a specialized job, but I suggest that data analysts need to move into data governance roles, so AI governance roles. That would be better path for them. Uh, how to make career in AI data analytics? Telling you, like I said, I can give you a couple of URLs, but those will be outdated, because as we are moving fast, there are several things that are available. Ask Gen AI. If you have ChatGPT or any of the others, or Gemini, please ask, how can I scale up? It will also give you, if you say that I would like to learn in 7 days, it will also give you what you need to do every day and from where, whatever it is. So let's utilize the Gen AI for that. What roles does supercomputers play in the computation requirements of AI? Okay, this is, let me just tell you something, that there's something that's coming, which is a quantum computing. The moment quantum computing comes in, it's going to replace supercomputers because it is going to be better than the supercomputers. So, but quantum computing cannot be adapted easily because it does not run on the technology of zeros and ones or the methodology of zeros and ones, and the ICs, integrated circuits. So it's a completely a different technology platform. So the infrastructure is going to be completely different. So the moment quantum computing becomes popular, AI is going to be multiplied in terms of its productivity, evolution, and that. And it's coming. It's already in use by several of the organizations such as Google, um, Apple, X, and then IBM. They already have the quantum, and it's replacing the supercomputers, and it's going to replace. Is it suitable for those who are not IT background to take certification in data scientist and analyst? See, data scientist is, I mean, it is underrated term or misused term. I mean, becoming data scientist takes a lot of time because you need to not only have the domain knowledge, but also you need to understand various models that are there and build those models as well. So you need to have the AI knowledge, ML knowledge, engineering knowledge, and all of that. And sometimes I'm seeing the guys who just does one or two course and say that we are data scientists. I mean, we are belittling, the community of data scientists. Data scientists are really the thorough experts. Yeah, you start with data analyst, then grow it into data governance professional, and then data engineers, and then AI ML engineers, and then you would become a data scientist. Taking certification is good, but there are several things that are changing every day. Keeping ourselves up to date, upskilling and relearning is something that one needs to do. Otherwise, whatever you learned in 2024, probably is most of that has been changed. Those models have been changed. uh, does any need to know mathematics IT to make a career? No, absolutely not. Like I said, every business has got AI. As long as you are a business expertise and you can solve the problems using the AI within that particular business, be it whatever business it is, retail, supply chain, operations, HR, marketing, talent acquisition, anything. The moment you have the knowledge of domain expertise, you can, start learning AI that is relevant to you. What kind of AI skills or practical AI exposure do you think really adds value and helps someone to stand out? One thing that I always tell is that be up to date. Every week, every month, you need to learn, or sometimes make every day 30 minutes, a part of your learning exercise. That would be great, and it will definitely, make you stand out. Can we share your recording with our friends and colleagues? Yes, obviously, as long as the organizers allow, you can. I think organizers are publishing it on YouTube channel. You can. Your session was truly outstanding. Thank you very much. Thank you. How should kids study in high school, plan their career, knowing AI will mature and get better with time? I mean, this is a big concern for me as well. As a professional, as a person, still universities are teaching the stuff that is not making sense in this era. Still, schools, they say that we are IT enabled school. They are teaching the stuff that is not going to be useful. Even some of those fundamentals are not going to be useful. And it's a concern. I have spoken to the universities. I have, always voiced my opinion, saying that, guys, you need to change, you need to adapt. But whenever I am looking at the curriculums of it, it's not there. It's not even closer. That's why augment their education with the AI capabilities. Every person on this planet, who would like to pursue the best profession, they need to have the AI literacy. Without that, they will not move forward. are now being enhanced from a serious point of view. Which skills should engineers focus on translating into AI to create real business? See, let me also tell this that bringing AI and just solving a problem is not going to work. What is going to work is that you need to know the pain and depth and breadth of that particular problem. You need to have the complete thorough knowledge about that problem, and you need to be expertise in that. Then you would discover, you would evolve how you could bring in AI to solve something. And for that as well, problem solving techniques using AIs as well. You can ask Gemini, you can ask Grok, you can ask Chat GPT, you can ask any of the other ones. They will give you comprehensive information about it. So like Einstein or someone said that if you are given maybe an hour to solve a problem, spend 50 minutes understanding it, which means that you need to have in-depth knowledge of that particular problem and complexities of that problem, and 10 minutes to solve it. So solution will come automatically, but you need to understand the problem in depth. As a businessman, what business can I do of AI? See, earlier people were using the chat gpt and building lot of marketing and the stuff, but probably those services in near future will not be available, or some of them are have been discontinued. So probably bring in AI capability as part of any business that you are doing. Let us suppose marketing earlier people used to spend 20-25,000 for one person to do the marketing, and he used to do certain tasks. But if you can build an app that can do that in an hour, then that's a great business value, and people will not have to spend so much of time, especially repetitive stuff. And HR recruitment portals, anything you bring in that AI capability that is giving you best ROI, that would be great. I'm sure we have exceeded the time. Dr. Abrar Saab, shall I take the other questions?
If you are available,
I'm
okay.
available because I don't want to miss out on that.
Jazakallah.
Thank you. Thank you. What kind of portfolio actually impresses the recruiters to recruit us? The AI ROI case studies, if you are including it with a business case, explaining it, even if it is one use case, that absolutely attracts. And it must be scalable. It is not that you are showcasing that use case of, yeah, we were an organization of 6 to 8 people and we improved the productivity. I don't think that impresses anybody. But if your use case was applicable at a higher level scale, absolutely it will be attractive. Data governance job career. First, for that we need to really understand what kind of data exists and how the data is created, and what are the different systems that creates the data, and what are the different kinds of data, such as metadata, master data, transaction data, analytical data, and then also synthetic data. So you really need. And again, this question, what is it, Mr. Abubakar, if you can just type a little bit comprehensively this question on any of the Gen AI applications such as ChatGPT or that, it will give you much better answers for reasoning, code, and math and platforms, grammar, lightweight models. Oh, okay. Now, Microsoft 5. See, all the models are still relevant. However, there is, adaptability difference. There is accuracy difference. So we need to look into, the models. But now what we are using mostly is Gemini 3. Yes, Llama 3 is still there. 8 billion parameters one. We are using that. Mistral 7B is also being used, but I think Mistral has lost its race. This is according to me. Probably they are doing well in some parts of the world, but Mistral was initially very, very good. but then it has lost because again it also needed a lot of funding, and I don't think that it could have withstand against the biggies like Google and Grok, as well as the what is it, OpenAI. So that's why I don't consider that we must, if it is for the latest stuff, we mustn't consider now Mistral. But Gemini, Llama 3, those are definitely still, very good. Yeah, Apple's OpenELM. See, let me also say something. The models that we need in our organizations, the models that we need in our solutions within the organizations are for our customers. They don't need so many billion parameters. So, always small language models are preferred, and these models you can take them as a shell, drop all the parameters, and then retrain it from your context and content, then it is good. But if you are adapting the model itself for your organization, I don't think that it is going to help you, because you are going to pay a lot of money as part of hosting and subscription cost and that. So the consumption will be more. So that's what is my input. From problem solving perspective, especially when building a startup providing generalized solutions, what path in AI would you recommend focusing to save generalized business problems effectively? See, even though AI has solved some of the problems in marketing, HR, and that, but there are some problems that are there that are relevant to the integration. So have the open integration capabilities, because you never know which customer need integration for within their solutions. Now I will give you an example of it. Even though there are huge amount of HR and recruitment solutions that are available, wherein you just throw 10 CVs and give the JD, or 100 CVs and give the JD, tells you who is better. But taking the data, putting it into HRMS system of the solution, and then making sure that those parameters, those fields are available within that, and that's a problem, and that is a problem that somebody can solve, then that would be good. In the same way, marketing, marketing it and putting the ads automatically on different platforms. If you do not have the integration capabilities, then somebody have to copy paste and create a post, then that is not the right solution. So you need to have those kind of things. So think out of the box in terms of where is the pain point, and once we understand the pain point, we can definitely address that. So my suggestion is that don't go for generalized solutions. Don't go for generalized solutions. Address specific problems, then you will be able to have quicker adaptability. The moment we are becoming generalized, then it's very difficult, because we will not be able to compete with those big players in the market. Where has AI reached in healthcare sector as of now? What would be your suggestion? Healthcare sector has adapted, because the be it material science, be it medical science, be it formulation of drug, be it testing, and that AI has been really huge. And not only just the AI, but quantum is also been adopted by the pharma sector, healthcare sector, because quantum's operational capability is thousands of times faster than the legacy or normal computers. So people have already started utilizing it as part of their testing, pharmaceutical science, material science, and all those things. So AI has really been adapted in the healthcare sector, and I'm not talking on the clerical side of it. I'm talking from a research perspective. Will it be idea decision to move from data analyst to software developer again? Software developer, even though you become a software developer, if your core competencies are only doing writing the logic or development, don't do it. If your core capability is in the domain expertise, such as if you are writing a software solution, or if you are a developer for supply chain management solution and you are expert in supply chain management, probably it will be better, because developing the code, already there are a lot of AI tools that are doing. So don't go into the developer, because I think most of the developers have been already replaced, and those are going to be replaced as well in near future. So that's my advice. Some of us from IT and with experience in development, testing, DevOps business. Okay. AI ops is something that you need to DevOps, since many of you mentioned that you have already DevOps and the other experience. Move into AI ops, which is more or less similar, but you would have the AI governance, you would have the AI frameworks, ethical policies, different things around that. And if you are a functional consultant, believe me, you are needed at any point in time, because that's the functional knowledge. Without the functional knowledge, without the domain expertise, nobody can develop any AI capabilities. uh, Understanding the pain of customer, you can go ahead and fill in. So what are the customer pains as well? Try out two or three different searches on Gemini, on Chat GPT for a specific industry, specific line of business. You will know that. Parameters are what you call are the, let us suppose that how do I give you a right example of it? Those are the um, deterministic uh, variants where you actually train the model. Now, let us suppose if you are now training a model with 100 parameters on maybe how to make coffee. So what could be the parameters? Parameters could be the location of the coffee, quality of the coffee, bean size, and then age of the coffee, the packaging of it, and how do you prepare it. So all these kind of things are the different parameters. So if you really would like to train a model how to make a best coffee kind of thing, so those are the parameters, and in each field you would have definitely different parameters. Hard AI skills in Dubai, several, I say several of them. AI ML engineers are in demand. Prompt engineers are also in demand, because every sector in Dubai is moving towards AI. And many of them, be it retail, be it any of those apps, they have improved their solutions and brought in AI. So I'm sure I have answered all of them. If I have not answered any of them, you can come via the organizers. I'll be able to answer them. But thank you very much for everybody else time. Thanks for listening in. Best wishes. Thank you, Dr. Saif Saab.
Jazakumullah khair. Uh, so any last question before we close?
Since since you specified about engineering.
ठीक है
AI
डॉक्टर
strategy,
साहब
yeah. There is
ओके
one, let me just answer. AI strategy consultant is the guy who is going to set the strategy, how, what kind of initiatives, whether there is value in it or not, what is the execution strategy, what are the models that we must bring in, and that's really a higher role. Prompt engineering is also definitely demand in the market, but I don't think that that demand will stay for long, because there are tools that are also building the prompts there. AI has reached really maturity in terms of the research in healthcare sector, but I don't think that it is still in the operations of it. So operational efficiencies, marketing, sales within even health sector has got a lot of potentiality. Thank you.
So I think audience can connect on the LinkedIn with Dr. Imad Sahab, inshallah. Otherwise, we'll keep on having lots of further questions also. So thanks everyone for joining. And thanks, Dr. Imad Sahab, for your valuable insights. With this, we close
Pleasure.
this session. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.